brothers and sisters. We are now in the third week of Lent, and we are continuing reflections on Psalm 139 because it's a rich treasure trove. So from Psalm 139. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. These weeks of Lent provide opportunities for reflection. They're designed to do just that, giving us time to circle around to the bigger questions of life. So much of our lives are driven by forces that are out of our control. We don't choose the weather. We didn't choose our genetics and all the vulnerabilities it carries. We don't choose the families into which we are born or adopted, nor the teachers and subjects that we're assigned. We don't choose the country into which we are born or adopted, and we didn't get our pick of every president. We didn't choose the history we inherited, not even some of the history we are making. Life can be one jumbled mess of tangled fishing line with which we are forced to contend. Problems, big and small, that coworker, the economy, that family member, gas prices, that nagging memory, the stock market. Should I go on? I think not. There's no end to the list of things over which we have little to no control. And some days, all we can think of is escape. Finding an off-ramp becomes an obsession. For many of us, it is the off-roading we did that served to snare us. These paths ended up being less fun over time, and sometimes were filled with traps of greater consequence, like addiction or regret, and maybe even more confusion. Even if the off-ramp was not taken, ruminating on that which annoys us and is out of our control rarely gives relief. Instead, it rather adds to the burden of the day and more. This mental habit of focusing on the negative and grumbling about that which you cannot change does not shape the best of inner states, and it serves to undermine more productive actions and reactions. We do not reflect, not carefully. So then, much of the time, we are not fully choosing how we operate and how we respond. Our responses to stress and mess all become increasingly more automatic and reactive. Apostle Paul writes in Romans, "The good that I would, I do not do. But the bad that I don't want to do, I keep on doing. Who will save me from this wretched state?" As unintended consequences grow, the need for an amendment of life grows. All the while, our ability to choose diminishes. So fly off we do, run we shall, escape we try. The psalmist uses poetic imagery to reveal these human tendencies, and it beautifully reveals a lovely truth, which of course also confirms our great fear. No matter where we go, no matter how far we might travel to escape, even there, God's presence is found. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there, God knows your inner and outer struggles. God knows your proclivities. The psalmist is teaching us, even at the farthest extremes of escape, Even if we take these paths, there is no escaping God's gaze. Thanks be to God. We are saved from this wretched state. Jesus' love covers all. We are forgiven, so we can forgive. We are now free to choose to listen and submit to a better way. God's Spirit will gently guide and point to a more excellent way where we find grace in abundance for ourselves and for us to share with the world. We can stop focusing on things we cannot change and get busy working on the things we and we alone can change. Equipped by God's presence in our lives. God's presence, it changes everything.